All right, so as I said, I'm gonna start addressing people. So, Lisa, if you hear me talking about myself, don't laugh at me. Uh, of course, what's going on, Star Citizen fans? It's your boy Raptor Spiritus. So today I am with one of my org mates, Lisa, on the other end. Say hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
So extra. So this is just gonna be a video of just doing random stuff. So it's nothing too crazy, but I figured I'd try a different style of content, sharing content. So I'm gonna share it this way. So we're gonna have some fun. Lisa today decided to buy an in game she got an 890 jump, and so she's thoroughly excited about it. Considering they just had the 890 and all the origin ships on sale, which is, I will say again, I think was a grab for the moolah, in my opinion. And again, this is just my opinion. Everybody can think what they want to think. But we were discussing what this potential new origin ship was, and I told Lisa that I would hope if CIG was really smart, they would do what's it called? They will do a 500i, but also have it to where just like the 400i had the bespoke little garage in the ship for the XL1, then why not have a 500i origin ship with a drop down little cargo deck for the G12 and sell it together? That would be I know I would buy it without hesitation. I mean, what do you think, Lisa?
What was that? I wasn't listening to you.
Oh my God. That's crazy. Such a
Something
hater.
about a 500i. Not a hater, just,
You heard me.
Something about a 500i, your wish,
No, I was just saying about the 500i, like if it came with the G12, like I think that would be a smart move by CIG.
It very much would be, and it would play well together, so.
I agree. And I mean, because everybody's been long waiting for the G12 to come out since, forever. I know when I first started playing Star Citizen in 21, I was, where am I looking? Where's this thing at? Oh, there it is. I wanted the G12 when it first came out, and obviously it hadn't come out yet. So I think
Still waiting for that G12.
Huh?
Still waiting for the G12.
Absolutely, but it would just be such a power pack if CIG would use some common sense. Because as we talked about, there's the 100i, 300 series. There's no need to make a 200 series. That would be a literal waste of time. And there is the 400, and then it jumps to the 6. And really trying to make a 700 series again, the 600 is big enough as it is. I think the 500 series would be just a sweet spot, and it would really make a difference for the lineup, and especially including the G12, because now not only do you have something that's in between the 4 and 600, so it's not going to be too big. I would imagine it's probably like about the size of a Star Runner, which the Star Runner, I think aesthetic is really cool. Like that's a real cool ship. And then do the G have, like I said, a cargo bay that'll hold the G12 in it, and then sell it as a, you can buy them together or separate, but bring it back out at the same time. And I mean, you're golden after that.
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion.
It'll be fun. I can't wait to see what they come out with, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. And I'm still, I know there's a lot of people that do have like buyers. I don't want to say buyer's remorse, but there's something, they buy something that's new and they're all like excited for it, and then eventually that wears off. You know what I mean?
Yep, I do. I think we've all been there.
Right. Well, see, you know me when I buy ships, I try to buy things I know I'm going to use, I know I'm going to like a lot. And
Right?
really, as I'm in the moth right now, this is really, and this is why I melted down the vulture for this, because really this ship is it has such good utility on it. Oh, I forgot I was on a timer. Oh Lord. Um, but it's just the many purposes for it. It's great. I'm a fan of the moth. I think it serves a lot of purposes. Obviously, I wouldn't arbitrarily take it into combat because it only got 2 size 2s on it, so and some missiles, which are not enough for me to try to take it into combat like a crazy person. Even against
those are meant for breaking up ships. That's about all you're going to do with that.
Exactly. So me personally, I of course I tried a couple different combinations, right? I tried cannons and other things, but really and truly the attritions are really where it's at. Scraping this, I was getting ready to try to gather some cargo off of this ship for this pirate one, but there's nothing here, and that's because any of the ones that they pay you for, you're not going to find cargo on them. Any of the ones that they'll pay you for, that you pay them for the rights to or the location of it, that's the ones that have cargo on them. Something I just noticed, but double checking everywhere. Yep, nothing. So heading back to the ship, I'm gonna break this thing up. Do buddy 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 do do. And what are you doing, Miss Lisa?
Oh, just getting used to the 890.
I tell you, she's a behemoth. I think when I first got into Star Citizen, there was a couple times where the 890 jump was, floating out in the ether, and I managed to get it and fly around with it. And this is before persistence really took place. So I drop it off somewhere, and then I might log out and then log back into the same server, and it'd be gone. But it's like I said, it's an interesting ship. I love the fact that it has a combat, like a combat bridge inside of it.
Yes, the battle bridge.
Mm-hmm. I like that, but it doesn't like a lot of things in Star Citizen. It doesn't work, right? So
correct. Yep, I found it, and I haven't been able to make that work yet. So sadly.
Yeah. And that's kind of where it's just like, okay, well, that doesn't work. Which is, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't work in Star Citizen, but if that battle bridge worked, again, and as we talked about, if there were more NPCs to actually, actually work the ship for you, I think I'd look at it a little bit differently, to be honest. And I'm really curious to see, because I know a lot of people are using it for like a mobile-based type situation. They're doing salvaging or doing mining in it, so they're putting golems and other industrial ships in them to do other jobs and then stacking the cargo. Do you really think especially when the Ironclad comes out, it will be a true comparison?
No, but I think everybody's getting used to is using the mothership, using 890, things like that. Idris's motherships is just in preparation for something much more manageable, would be the Ironclad. A little smaller, large ship, but, it's not a capital. Easier to manage, less fuel.
Right.
But I think with the way the opening on the retractable roof on the Ironclad is kind of game-changing for many, because it will allow for that mobile base. At the same time, easy for cargo. So I think Ironclad kind of changes how we're going to look at motherships.
I think so too. Now, speaking of motherships, do you think that the Liberator's coming out this year?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think they could surprise us with it, with rearm, refill, repair, possibly finishing right around the time of Invictus. Possible.
Okay, so do you think it'll be for Invictus, or do you think it'll be
maybe
for IAE?
I think we might see the Liberator IAE. If it's going to be this year, I would think it would be IAE. I think I think we're getting rearm, refill, repair for the ships like Attack, Idris, Ironclad. Obviously, is also got that functionality in the Assault.
Right.
So I think it's all going to be, again, 2026. I think we're going to see a lot of changes, a lot of new stuff. So we could be very surprised this year.
And I guess that does make sense. We're doing rearming and refueling. That does make a lot more sense to bring out the Liberator around there, because the Liberator is a literal
Yep.
The
it could be one of those
carrier
ships that's progressing. Exactly. We just don't know. They could be very happy to surprise us getting another concept ship out this year.
Yeah, well, there's no more concept ships. The only concept ship that's coming out is going to be that cracked out battle.
Well, no more pledging, right? We can't pledge to concepts anymore.
Yeah.
They're going to do that, but they got to get the ones out of the backlog that people have pledged. They got to get the backlog cleared, and Liberator is definitely one they could knock out.
Absolutely, and I
It's a very
totally
simple
agree with
design of a ship. The design overall is going to be fairly easy, I think. But
I totally agree with that.
I think they can come out with it. I think they could do it. CIG's been surprising us. Last year was very surprising with the number of ships.
Absolutely.
I don't expect this year to slow down, to be honest. That's their main moneymaker, and they're showing that people are happy to spend money on chips if they keep putting them out there. So I'm guilty of spending the money myself. So there's that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I totally agree. So I want to say it is because, like I said, it just makes sense that it would be coming out, especially after they get because the Kraken is being built, so that's obviously a rearm refuel situation.
And that's the reason I think it's got to release this year. That's why it releases it, at Invictus, this year, because with the Kraken, it's just expected. If you're going to have something that you're going to have landing pads on, the way the Kraken does, at some point you're going to have to get rearm, refuel, repair. So
now, I know you were talking about the Kraken. Are you planning on getting it?
It is still on my list. It's on my wish list. We'll see if I can, play the F5 Wars. I've kind of been back and forth on it for the past few months, but it'd be fun for the Org. You've seen the diagram I posted in our chats, with me with the Kraken at the center and, Org operations going around it. So, definitely been thinking about it.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think it would be a great addition. I mean, I think with the Liberator and the Kraken coming out, for at least for us, I mean, I think that we're hitting a lot of good places. Just like, because I know we had the Perseus in our group, but the reality is that that's for our size, that's a big ship to really,
a big ship,
us.
And not all of us are combat, and we're not always into the combat mode.
Exactly.
A lot of us are industrial, unless we're all in the mood to go out and blow things up and shoot people. We're salvaging, mining, throwing boxes around.
Yeah.
So I think having Org operations centered around the things that we do and we do enjoy,
right?
And making that what we focus on, and not necessarily it's fun to go out with Perseus. Trust me, that was a good time. I had fun with that.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I got the Perseus, because if we do decide to have something combat wise that is big enough for our Org to where we can man it either fully or exactly, because there's enough of us to where we can fully man it, or we can man it with just 3 people. Shoot, I've even done it with just 2. And still be pretty successful in PvE.
Another ship with,
yeah, and then totally successful in PvE, absolutely. So, I personally agree. Like I said, that was I think a better choice for just our organ size. But having the Liberator as well is, I think it will be great. But I'm gonna tell you, when that Kraken comes, that Kraken's gonna be awesome.
You're not wrong, and that's why it sets on my list and high on my list, because I don't know. I'm going to try the F5 Wars. I'm ready to get it. I want to get it.
Did you say
Hmm.
F5 Wars? Is that what you said?
Yeah, the F5 Wars, the refresh wars.
Oh my
Try to get it.
gosh. Yeah, that's where I start getting a little bit like that's a
I
lot
think
to do
that's
to
the
try
only
to get
thing,
thing.
right? Just for a ship, right?
Yeah.
But I might try it because I think, of all of the capital ships coming out, that's, one that fits our org the best.
Yep.
It's the most usable for our org, that we would use it in ways, that it wasn't designed to be used, but it's got the cargo space, it's got the landing pads, and what we do with it is what we do with it.
Absolutely. Now, I think that to really make that Kraken effective, especially for orgs and stuff like that, they've got to that whole thing where they were saying they're doing what you call it where they're going to eventually make it to where wherever you log out is wherever you come back in.
Oh yeah,
And
spawn back in place. Yep,
yeah,
spawn in place.
and then like where it also have where you'll have areas where you can spawn, and then you'll kind of go like it'll give you options. So like this, they said like it'll give you 5 spots, and depending on if the one are time sensitive or ones are player places, like if you were on be on the Kraken and then you didn't log in, they will log in back to the next place before that, and then ultimately eventually it'll be like I said your home base is, right? That I think would be super essential, and that would be so game changing because now you have where orgs can play and stay in place at all times to have to keep reorganizing to do missions day after day. If the whole org, like for instance, if you have the Ironclad, right, and or not the Ironclad, I'm sorry, if you have the Kraken and we're all there, let's say we're all going to Nyx to put more planets in, we're in Nyx, we're on the Ironclad, on the Kraken, and with our ships and stuff, because I know the ships in the thing will stay. So on the ship, just like anything else, like if I put something on one of your ships, any of my vehicles, it'll stay there. So
Right.
we do that, and then whenever you log in first, you'll log in first. That way now the spawn place that we chose on the Kraken is now in the game. So then when we follow, it'll say, hey, the place that they want, the first place they wanted to spawn on the Kraken is available. Bam. And then everybody wakes up in a bed on the Kraken, and now you're Gucci. So we can continue with the gameplay instead of having to like reorganize, or some of us are over here or some of us are over there type kind of thing. Does that make sense?
It does. Nope. And
So-
that's something no, I think we're going to get there. I think that's probably more of a next year problem, but yeah.
Yeah, so if they can get rearm and refuel, like I know everybody's excited about crafting, but I could care less about it, to be honest. I think rearm and refuel, respawning in place, and with the last whatever places it'll go through the what's available for you to respawn at the beginning, and then you'll just respawn there. Because that's it. They'll have a menu when you first log in and say where would you like to respawn, and it'll give you options. So that way, if we're playing all together, we can just respawn on the ship if it's actually available. And then suit lockers. You do those 3 things right here, those 3, I think that it'll really change the game so much that, again, I think it's what the game needs, in my opinion. So that's where I think that Star Citizen is going to flourish, when they put those 3 things actually in the game and they're consistently working. Oh, there's that noise.
What noise is that?
Okay, it's the noise for the arms, for the munching arms for the moth. I had put the arms back in, but the munching portion was still going, and the sound was still going, so I had to ixnay it. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here, just because, again, I just wanted to see what this was like as far as filming my salvaging, and I was able to do that. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut it here, and I'm still gonna play, but like I said, I'm gonna cut it. But as always, guys, it's your boy Raptor Spiritus. You guys stay safe out there, and I will see you in the verse.